Now, you represent the Yagba West constituency. That's where you come from. Now, let me ask you, were you truly voted by the people in that constituency?
Yes, that is my pride. That is my strength. I had approximately 9,000 votes. The PDP challenger, which was actually the incumbent chairman, had 30,300 votes. The MPP candidate had 800 votes. So I think Yagba West is in front of you with all pride and dignity.
And you're saying that you're not a Lagos politician?
The votes have decided. The pattern of the vote has decided. You someone on ground, that so do people say that is on ground, has 3,000 votes, and we have not. We've always been on ground, my brother. It's just that we've just won. We've been in the opposition actively. My grandmother was the woman leader of UPN. My father was a political aspirant, SDP. He even tried to, I think he was an aspirant for the Senate, AD. So, and I've always been involved in this process.
So you've been like deeply rooted in the waters of politics, as it were.
Yes. Seriously. In fact, the election of 1999, I was seriously involved in the planning. Then when we were having a local government chairmanship, then of Chief Affair. So I think that side we've been involved for a while.
Now, you mentioned the AD, that's the Alliance for Democracy. Of course, we've had several transformations of the ACN leading to this, of course, known as the AC, from the AD to the AC, now the ACN. Now, how has this been able to help you in thriving in your political career?
Yes, in a way. Let's look at it this way. You see, ACN is a party of old. Forget the transformation. We've always been there. We struggled for independence. We built Cocoa House. We gave free education at the initial.
When you say you struggled for independence,
yes.
The ACN?
It's still the same ideology, the same. You will always find the tracking of Chief Obafemi Awolowo in our lineage. It's still that same philosophy. It's just the name. It's just the name that's changing with the era. But the substance, the ideology of the party is still the same. We've always been there. We've not changed. And now we find ourselves as ACN. So I think what has actually contributed to my success is the belief in social change which we stand for. And our people actually wanted change. I mean, the other parties, they've made a mess of everything. So people wanted change, something fresh, something that probably you are thinking is a Lagos politician. They are now saying, okay, since we've tried the indigenous politicians, let us now try people that have a kind of fresh instinct. That is what brought people like us into power.
So, from what you're saying at the moment, it does seem as if it's not a case of you not having the ideas or your other colleagues are not having the ideas in the ACN, but there seems to be some kind of force that has made it not, or say, shall I say, impossible to realize some of the dreams that you've been talking about.
Yes, and you know, Victor Hugo said that that French writer, that there's nothing that can stop an idea which its time has come. So I think these are time. As the case of Yagba West, this is the time for ACN. And all the forces, the political forces and economic forces, they played well into our hand, probably because of the history of our struggle. So let me put it that way.
Okay, now I want to take you back to the issue of the decentralization of the Kogi State University now. How's it been? How's the action, as in, what really happened in that sense?
Well, I think most of our members, really, because at the end of the day, we had to vote on the motion. We had 5 to second 10. 2 lawmakers were absent. for you to know the level at which the motion was refuted. But I think it doesn't mean you cannot throw away the truth, you cannot quench the truth. There will be so many things in the house which will step down, but a new generation will come and step it up. You can't kill the truth. The truth will always have its time.
Well, I have this feeling that things haven't been working very smoothly for Kogi State. Talking about the salary of workers, for instance. Now, would you think that the state, even with its allocation, I mean, the revenue generated, the internally generated revenue, that is, do you think they can be able to cross the hurdle?
That is exactly one of my concerns. Kogi State is a very, very poor state. When I say poor, indeed it is very poor. For example, on a monthly basis, the IGR, which of course is the internally generated revenue, it's around 115 million. And this, in a year, or whichever way you want to look at it, it translates to 15% of our expenditure. I think it is very, very, very bad. We should now start looking at how we can raise our IGR to, as a matter of emergency, to 60, 70, 80% in the next 2 years. But in the next 1 year, it's possible. It's actually very, very possible. It depends on the level of discipline and commitment of leadership and, of course, the vision. So, we have a lot of challenges in the way of finance. There's no doubt about that. And that's why our people are so poor. As I'm talking to you, 60% of our active youth are unemployed. 40% of Kogi State is not electrified. In fact, you realize that 80% of the core rural areas are still not electrified. So there are so many institutions to be improved. The road networks are bad enough. New routes must be opened. You know, even doing this, for example, if you tar the roads, if we open up roads and upgrade our roads, if we electrify these rural areas I'm talking about, it could actually increase our economy by 30-40%. It's possible. You know, all this infrastructural development, at the end of the day, they have a multiplier effect. You electrify somewhere, barbers will come, CD sellers will come. You can see a kind of micro activity going on. And at the end of the day, then ideas will be able to, which is even more important. When you put in a lot of technical development, you give them light, you give them access to computer training. When you engage them, there will be a fusion of ideas, and that can also lead to anything.